Hi, Anuman. Am I audible?
Hello, Vivek.
Hi,
How are
good
you?
morning. Am I audible? I'm good. How are you?
Vivek, I can't hear you.
Okay, let me just check. Hello, can you hear me now?
Nope.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Hello, sir.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Anuman, can you hear me? Hi, Anuman.
Hello. No, Vivek, can't hear you.
Others can hear me. CFET team, can you just confirm?
Yes, sir. You are audible.
Now you are audible.
Okay, fine. That's good. Yeah,
I think maybe my speaker was muted or something.
yeah.
Okay. All set.
like we can have now.
बट वो योगा का अच्छा
Hello.
है। Good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
I sent you the link to the video on the drive.
Yes, I got the links. I will look at the videos today.
You and Vivek are the
Yeah.
two.
I'll call you and discuss the details.
Hmm.
So this will be live now. I'll discuss.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hi, Dinesh.
Hello.
Hello, Mr. Gaurav. How are you?
Hi, good. I'm good. Good afternoon.
Okay. Do you want to quickly test your presentation or you're fine?
Yes, I'll just do a check if I'm able to share it well. Just give me a minute.
Yeah, share permission is there.
Yep, my screen is visible, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, good.
Do you have any embedded audio in it? No.
No.
Okay, fine.
I just wanted to sure. I think I missed it somehow. The duration is it 30 minutes or 45 minutes?
30 and 10-minute Q&A.
Okay. Thank you.
I mean, if the Q&A extends, it's fine. So.
Okay. I'll try to keep it short.
And that's fine. You want to stop sharing the screen so that.
Oh, yeah.
Adit, can you put that banner back on till we start? Thank you. Actually, the workshop is still going on, so I have to throw them out now. I'll just throw them out and be back.
Hi Vivek, how are you? This is Rajesh.
I'm good. How are you?
Wonderful, wonderful. Nice to see you again. Yeah.
Yeah. Same here. How's things coming along?
Good. Ask Anu. I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
I am
sure.
on
I'm
both
sure.
the Zoom links. So
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll catch up later after this.
Yes, definitely.
shall we start?
Yeah, I think it's time.
Okay. So welcome to day 5 of the INNODEATE boot camp. and I will request Dr. Vivek to introduce the speaker for today.
Okay. Good afternoon. A very warm welcome to the keynote session of INNODEATE Bootcamp organized by C Square Innovation Lab at IIT Palakkad. Today with us, we have Mr. Gaurav Tripathi, a young and dynamic entrepreneur who is the co-founder and CEO of SuperPro.ai. Mr. Tripathi is an alumni of IIT Bombay and has exited 3 startups in the last 15 years, having his first company at the age of 19 while still at IIT Bombay. In his last venture, the Germany-based analytics company InnoPlexus, Gaurav led the firm's technology development and helped raise multi-million investment rounds from US and European investors. A lifelong learner, he has filed more than 30 patents in Europe and US in artificial intelligence and other technology sectors. Today, he is going to deliver his talk on the title, The Journey of a Young Entrepreneur. Gaurav, it is indeed our pleasure to have you with us today, and we all are looking forward to your talk. So stage is all yours now. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Vivek. Thank you, Anurag, ma'am. Pleasure to be here, really. I'll just share my screen. Give me a moment. Is my audio good enough?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Okay, I'll start, yes. So, hello everybody, good afternoon. As Vivek mentioned, yes, I'm going to talk about journey of a young entrepreneur. I've highlighted young because thanks for calling me young. As I said, I believe, yes, I'm still young, okay. And what I'm going to talk about, as you can see in this slide, no, I'm not going to talk about politics, definitely. And I'm not going to talk about technology. I'm not going to talk about business plans. I'm not going to talk about how to raise funds. Unfortunately, not all of that. I'm just going to talk about what have I learned in my journey as an entrepreneur. Yes, this picture, as you can say, yeah, this kind of the hilly terrain, the mountains. I relate to it because that's how life of an entrepreneur really is. Yeah, you can see that there are peaks, but then you really need to prepare to be down in the valleys. Okay, I'll start. So this is where my journey starts. What you see is the river Ganges, Ganga, whatever you call it. I was born in Varanasi, Banaras, Kashi, again, different names. Yes, the holiest city, and by some records, yes, the most historic and ancient city that's sort of continuous civilization in India that represents. And yes, to the right, yes, that's Kashi Vishwanath. Yes, I am, of course, back there, and that's where I was born in 1983. And yeah. My journey, so it's been 37 years. Yes, I'm 37-year old, not exactly that young, but yes, young at heart, definitely. I've had 3 startups, which you mentioned, but yes, today I'll talk about the reality is I've had 5 startups. Yeah, 2 of them just like happened, and yeah, I don't even mention it often, but yes, one life definitely, and a lot of lessons. So how it started. First, my early part, I think this just sums it up. That's my father. That's me. It kind of sums up what I did while I was growing up. So I was just born in Banaras, but I grew up in a lot of small town cities across MP, Chhattisgarh, and really the remotest places, like places wherein all I was looking up to, for 2-3 years, that okay, I'll get to be in a train when we travel, yeah, because that's how remote the places were. You might have heard about Chhattisgarh, Bastar. So yeah, it's the world's second densest forest next to Brazil, Amazon forest. So that's where most of my childhood was spent, and somehow I managed to study, and somehow I think I was good enough at studies, and I kept moving. Yeah, and in that circle, actually, that's me. This mountain used to be just behind our where I was growing up, our colony, a small colony, and there was a small town called Kanker in Chhattisgarh, and yes, that still remains the most precious memory of my childhood. So yes, I'm a very much a nature man. I think where I grew up, it still made me into a nature loving person. Okay, I'm straight away jumping to the topic. Yes, so I landed up in IIT Bombay in 2001. Yeah, and yeah, contrary to what this picture signifies, this picture actually shows that I'm doing something. That's my friends, my batchmates, and yeah, that's supposed to be a project that we are submitting for a competition. But yes, you can. I can say that yeah, what to do at IIT or what not to do at IIT depends on how you take it. What you see are different clippings in media, is actual yes, actual newspapers. So that's in one is in Bombay Times, another is in Kanpur Times, because we were there for our flight lab and just for a month in IIT Kanpur, and even then we managed to get on the front page of Kanpur Times. So definitely, I would not recommend that you should do that at IIT. But yes, we had fun, so you definitely should have fun while you are at IIT. Yes, that's how. Yes, so I was in aerospace. That's me. Yeah, in the front. Yeah, I used to love aerospace, but at that time, yeah, I think my third year onwards, or even second year, somehow I got more interested into Linux. One thing led to another. I became a geek. Really, I used to love coding and I'll say tinkering with software and hardware both. Yeah. So that's how. Now the first lesson, yeah, and why I was showing those pictures with friends. Uh, what I learned, and this I'm very clear that yes, I definitely did not learn this while I was there, or I did not learn this in 2005, or I did not learn this even till 2010 probably. But yes, I have learned this that uh, get friends while you are at IIT or even later, so maybe school or even before. So your friends are what make you really, and if you are friends with people as crazy as you are, trust me, that is something which is really going to take you ahead in the life. I mean, I can tell for myself. Uh, if not for my friends, I'd probably be in some remote part in India in a nondescript job because I simply didn't know the world. I simply didn't have any ambition. My friends helped me to aspire. They helped me to take that ambition. No, you are good at studies. You should go after this. You should. I didn't know about IIT till my 11th. My friends told me about it. I could not afford the fees and everything. Somehow I hustled. My friends helped me. My friends even filled the form for me. They paid for my competition fees. They paid at times. I mean, they connected me to the teachers wherein I could hustle and I could hustle with them and get the admissions. And even in all my ventures, yeah, if not for my friends, I would not have become an entrepreneur. I would not have been where I am. So yes, the first lesson is yes, have friends, and yes, be sure that yes, they are as crazy as you are. So the journey around IIT was just this that third, fourth year, I used to meet a lot of people, a lot of entrepreneurs, in fact, a lot of the who's who of the IIT alumni. And I used to just ask them, what's the best time to start? And by 2005, I really realized the best time to start is now. Yeah, of course, that's a lot of people will disagree with it. Will say that yeah, you should take experience, should work somewhere, go for an MBA, this, that, and but then based on at least my conversations with everybody, with all of the entrepreneurs, the only thing that I could learn was the best time to start is now. I mean, what you can learn in starting up, you can't replace it really. There is no other way to learn business than by doing it. So that's how my first office looked like. Yes, the systems are. The systems are pretty much what, yeah, these systems you can see it's missing a C drive. It always had space for the additional one. The systems were actually assembled by me only. We used to sell assembled system in IIT to raise funds. At that time, there was no notion of raising funds, and asking money from family was out of the question. And so we used to sell assembled systems, and we had specialized in gaming, in fact, and we used to sell it at premium. And from that, whatever money we earned, we managed to get a small office outside of IIT. In fact, that area wasn't that popular, but now it's very popular. It's kind of has become a mini incubation center for Powai. And this chair was very special. We had got it from a kabadi wala. Yeah. So yes, nothing that you see is really so-called new or first-hand. Everything is, I mean, the Hindi word is jugaad. Yes, we had got it by jugaad, and that's how we got the first startup, first office, first startup moving. Yeah, and of course, we didn't know anything about business, and that's what that's what my second learning is, or third learning. Sorry. So. At that time, we always used to just hear about the cool startups like the Facebooks of the world. This is happening in the rest of the world, and so on. I realized that we didn't understand a startup is a business. I mean, for us, the startup word was cool. Business was uncool. Yeah, and that is what we learned the hard way, very hard way. That the actual business that we were doing. Selling hardware, yeah, we were making money, we were profitable, we had already created a brand. Our friends used to trust us, a lot of other people used to trust us and believe really, because we really were specialists in that. I used to know by heart. Like you asked me for such and such game, I could tell you what system you should go for, how much RAM, what graphics card, what will work better. But then it was like, for us, it was just like, we are doing this so that we can do a cool startup. I later on realized that yes, if we should not have shut down that business. Definitely, we were making money, and so yes, buzz is not equal to business. You should be very clear. Startup is a business. So entrepreneurship, yes, it's really about making money, nothing else. Yeah, whether you make money and for yourself, for your company, for your shareholders, whatever, or you make money so that you can support the society. Yes, in both the cases, you need to make money. So yes, as I said, so we shut down that business and we wanted to do something cool, and that led to the most obvious thing where, like, yeah, I'll say maybe 80-90% startups go this route. Yes, go bankrupt. It was scary. And that is where we truly learned the value of money, all of us, especially me. I didn't have any family background with that. I could not even afford to ask my family for money, yeah, even for survival. I was down to last, there was a entire week where I had only 30 rupees, yeah. And it was literally beg, borrow, or steal mode, yeah. And that was the lowest point, and that is where I realized, when I didn't have money, that's where you know who your true friends are really, when you're bankrupt. Yeah, and that's where I realized that all the goodwill that I had built during my campus days, the people who I had helped, juniors that I had really loved. A lot of people came forward, to help me, and I could sustain. It didn't really feel. The only thing was, yes, of course, I didn't have money, but yes, I had friends. I had everything to just keep going. So although it was very scary, but yes, the realization was that it's once you have been through it, you realize that okay, it's not the end of the world. Yeah, We always think that bankruptcy is like, yeah, it's end of the world. It's never so. And that's again when if you are starting up, if you are an entrepreneur, always hope for the best, become the unicorn, but prepare for the worst. Yeah, because 90% of the startups simply fail. Yeah, and a lot of them will go bankrupt. So be prepared. Be prepared for the worst. Have that ecosystem, a support system around you. The first startup actually in that journey, it was like the first startup, as I said, the first business. We actually shut it down. I didn't even call it a startup back then. The second was wherein we were trying to be the YouTube of India. Long story short, we were lucky to have great mentors like Ajit Balkrishnan from Rediff. He is the CEO of Rediff, and then very senior alumnus from IIT Bombay. In spite of my arrogance, naivety, they had agreed to invest. Things happened, and yes, we got a good exit from that company. And then my same investor, my angel investor, he just said that why don't you come to Pune? The picture is, by the way, it's Pune from my favorite hill. So yeah, that's where he said, why don't you come to Pune? I'll help you with infrastructure and everything, and you should come here and build something more, build the next thing. I came to Pune 2009. Since then, I'm here, 11 years. I love the city. I really fell in the love with nature here. It's very green as compared to Bombay. It's very calm, relatively, and that's where I started my next venture. It wasn't services, yeah, but we ran it for a few years, 3 years, and got it to a point wherein yes, we were making good money. But then, yes, my heart wasn't more in products actually. So I just said this. I set up the team. I handed over the business, and I moved on. And then that's where in 2011 I again started. So Innoplexes, my next venture, and yes, here this is my friend Gunjan Bharadwaj. This is the guy who I started with. Again, the simplest thing is always work with people smarter than yourself. Yeah. Don't even think of, he was my friend. Yeah, of course. I mean, he is my friend. But then I simply didn't decide that I should start with him because he's a friend. And same with him. Yeah. He had a very successful career as a consultant in BCG. He was doing phenomenal. Yeah. But then we had done things together in IIT, and we just knew that, yes, in our own way, each one of us smarter than the other. Yeah. And we really complement each other very well. Right. And so that's what, again, and all through the journey, that is, by the way, the first office, very small. It was just a small bungalow where we started. This is literally the first day. We are doing the puja and getting started. From there, we got to a space wherein, yes, we had we have, Innoplexes still has that office. We had the entire floor when it was so huge, we could actually play cricket in it. So we got to that point, and yes, from that small office, we could move to build the coolest office in Pune in 2016. And that was really, everybody, even the media said that, yes, that's really the coolest office in Pune at that time. And especially from a startup, which is not funded. We were bootstrapped. 5 years, we bootstrapped it. We grew it to the point wherein we had a multi-million euro revenue and we were profitable. And then, yes, then we decided to raise funds because we realized that what we are building is actually beyond us. It's much bigger, and we need people who can help us to scale. Now here, just taking a detour, it's always the case. So while we were bootstrapping, till 2016, there was always there was a lot of buzz again. The startups, raising funds, huge funds, and everything. And our own team used to at times question us, why are you guys doing it? Why are you not raising funds? Yeah, how will we become this the next thing? And I used to say, okay, guys, do you understand business really? Yeah, here we are as a company with really multi-million euro revenue, real revenue. Yeah. And with a stellar team and a team which has filed patents. They are building a real tech. Sitting in India, we have some of the largest companies in the world as our clients, but then yes, because the other side always looks better. So this is again what I learned. Yeah, never fall into that trap that what others are doing, what the other company is doing, what your competitor is doing, what's going on in others' lives. So as an entrepreneur, also about me again, yeah, I still have my 100cc Splendor bike which I bought during my campus days. Yeah, it's been 16 years to be precise. I still have that bike and I drive it. So that is what I associate the quality of an entrepreneur with. Like, yes, you should be frugal. You should look for value. Yeah, value is very different than money. Yeah, really. And that's what you should look at, what you are building, and just stay razor focused on that. Don't fall into a trap of like whether others are raising funds or how the others are doing, or maybe yes, even as an entrepreneur, probably a low point will be wherein you will see your friends who will be there in yes jobs earning really probably 5x of what you are making, or maybe you are not making anything while you are an entrepreneur, and others are making money. Yes, maybe they are buying cars, they're even buying houses or whatever. Yeah, at that time will be your true test. Do you really value those things, or do you value what you are building? Do you value your journey? Do you value that the system which you are building, right? So that's again, never fall into that trap. The other side will always look better. Next is family. So all of this journey, so I touched upon that. Yeah, I went bankrupt at that time. The truth is, I've been close to bankruptcy again. Even while building Innoplexus, we were very close. So yes, in my life, I've been like through these iterations wherein I can see the money is there somewhere. Yeah, but realistically, I'll be down to the last rupee in my account. I've been there, and at that time, the only thing that you need is your family. Yeah. Trust me, it's not just for you personally, or even for your business really, because the amount of stress that you will be taking, the challenges that you will face, your family is going to be the biggest moat. Yeah, in my case, uh, I always thank God every day that I got such a family. My parents, then my wife, my in-laws, everybody has been so supportive. They never even said that, why are you doing this? Why don't you take up a job? Yeah, why don't you just behave or work like other people, normal people, or whatever? Yes, it never happened. They always supported my decisions, and even though few of my decisions led to really, me losing money, but then yes, they have always stood by me, and that's where I realized that it's a very lonely journey. So yes, I mentioned friends. So of course, friends, co-founders, but then yes, have family as well. Unless you have family support, you will still find yourself at times that you are you're fighting a lonely battle. Then be over optimistic. So this picture, by the way, is taken by me. I'm in a helicopter, and this is Mont Blanc in Switzerland, the highest peak there. And and that's where when you're up on the mountains, that's where you really have to be over optimistic, because realistically speaking, your helicopter could crash at any point of the time. Yeah. But yes, you have to trust the pilot, who probably you haven't ever even spoken to, or you probably don't even know who the guy is. But yes, you have to place your trust that the pilot is good. So yes, that's me. I'm sitting in the helicopter and taking it. That's how again the entrepreneur's life is. You always have to take that view. Yeah, you are up there. You are flying. But yes, the only difference is, in this case, probably you will be the pilot. Yeah, as an entrepreneur, you are the pilot, and a lot depends on you. Yeah, your team, their family members, right? Everything is dependent on you. Like I always used to feel, and even now, like that it's not just I am running a business for myself, or we're just the founders. I'm actually feeding hundreds of families. Yeah, their lives, their happiness, their families, everything really depends on the success of what I am doing. Yeah. So that is where you need to be over optimistic. You need to be sure that yes, things will turn out great. And as long as you know that you have the grit, the conviction on your business to work hard and get to going, yes, most likely things will turn out to be good. Then so this is again most of it, yeah, all of it actually. This is my different moments from my InnoPlexus team journey. This is like the first huge batch that we had from IIT, a lot of IITs, everything. But then yes, I relate with mountaineering, trekking in my own way. That yeah, you have to lead from the front. You have to take care of the team in whatever way. And I've been very clear that at times really, at midnight, I may not pick up a call from a customer. I may not, yeah, may not, because I say, okay, fine, this is probably just related to work. There's something I can take care of. But I will always pick up a call from a teammate. Yeah, even if it's midnight, whatever time of the day, night, whatever, I'll always pick up the call from a teammate. Why? Because I'm accountable to them. It sounds as if like you are the owner, you are the founder, and the team is like these are your employees. They are there to serve you. It's trust me, it's completely opposite. It's your responsibility. You are accountable to them. If they need you, you have to be there. No questions asked. What's going on in your life, in your family? Yes, things will get up, but then if they need you, you have to be there. Yeah. So that's how I have looked at teams always, building teams and getting in. Because if you have a stellar team, and if the team really believes that you will be there, again, it's not possible for you to be there all the time. But if your team believes that if they need you, you will be there. Yeah, trust me, they'll automatically do wonders. You won't even need to do all of the things most of the time. They will do it, but then they just need that belief that you are going to be there. Finally, yes, 3x. So what I say is like add value to people around you, so your team members, even your customers, everybody that you're talking to. That is how I take as a mantra. So again, living a healthier life, I really always have made sure that my team members, they stay fit. That's why you see me in the mountains with my team members. I really push them, yeah, in a good way. They have to be healthy. And yes, I always make it a point that I teach them, I tell them about money, and that's why, like when I ride, when they see me riding a 16-year-old motorcycle, they see that okay, it's not that you need money for buying the fancy things. Money is value. You need to really put value on the money, whatever you are earning. Yeah, it's hard-earned money. And yes, I always have said startups. So a lot of my team members at InnoPlexus and previously, even from my first startup, there were interns who were in my team. They have went on and become very famous, successful entrepreneurs themselves. And yes, teach your team to always aspire high. 3x is what I've written, that I see as my commitment that if I'm hiring you, yeah, it's my responsibility that when you leave my company, when you leave my startup, yeah, I should have prepared you to get a 3x jump in your career, really. Yeah, and yes, I've really proven it. I have enough case studies wherein people who left InnoPlexus, they left no less for companies than like Google, Amazon, or they didn't leave till they really got a 2x to 3x jump in their salaries. Yeah. So that is what I always tell them. I never discourage people from giving interviews. That again, it's very different. People find it very interesting. Okay, why are you asking your teammates to give interviews? And my answer is because I want them to grow. Yeah, I don't want to hold them back. I don't want to just we're tied to them, kept to them, like, you are bounded to work with me. No, if I'm unable to add value in your life, in your career, I have no right to ask you to stay with me, to work with me. So that's what I've learned. Think, oops, that was, sorry, wrong slide. But yes, this is what I'm finally doing. So with my InnoPlexus journey, I came out of InnoPlexus in 2019, September. I'm still a significant shareholder there. I help the team at times as a consultant, but yes, I'm not in an operational role. InnoPlexus is doing phenomenal. Yes, as Vivek earlier mentioned, that as a team we actually filed 120 patents. We are the only company, only startup sitting in India who could do that, aggressively filing patents across US and Europe or different areas. But then yes, I decided that now I want to move beyond tech, and that's where I said, okay, I'll move out of InnoPlexus and start something new. Super Pro is something which I started with these amazing guys, Vijay, Vivek, and so that's Vijay, Vivek, and the Sagar. Four of us, we started in April 2020, middle of the lockdown. We are a 100% remote team. So again, a very different paradigm altogether. We started this, and again, back to the mountains. Now my two co-founders are already in Pune. So yes, this is another journey which I've started. The thing being, keep moving. Never rest on your laurels. If you've done something, fine, just move. I believe I have created enough value, but now in my from my professional journey, I see I can do more than what I've been doing. So beyond tech, what is it that I can do? So that's why I've joined Super Pro as a co-founder and CEO. Yes, I'm now leading the ship. Final lesson, I think this is the last slide. Be happy, live life, work hard, party harder. I think one thing which you just need to see as an entrepreneur, there is no destination really. Honestly, it's not getting to the 100 million revenue mark. It's not being a unicorn. No, it's not. That's not what really can drive you. Yeah. What can drive you really is like if you are enjoying the journey. If journey itself is the reward, of course you will always have targets. Yeah, that's the goal. That's what you want to achieve. But the journey itself will always be the reward. And make it a point that if you do a startup, you enjoy that journey. Get people who you really like working with, people smarter than you, people who you can share laughter, people with who you can share a beer or you can laugh with. Yeah, that's the whole point of doing it, according to me. So yes, just be happy. I think this is it. Yeah, this is the last slide. I'm not sure if I'm doing good on the time.
You're fine. You're fine.
Yeah. Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you. So any questions?
I hope I didn't disappoint the guys. Like, probably they were expecting something else.
No, not at all. So Gaurav, I have one question.
Yeah.
I think first of all, I mean, it was an incredible talk. Let me tell you this. Your life journey is really incredible. So, so when you were in IT Bombay, right, and when you had your first startup, so how did you identify the problem that you were trying to solve through that startup? Like, what was like? How did you identify that you want to do a startup in this particular area? Like, how did you do that?
I'll answer it in two ways. So as I said, the real business was where we were making money. That was the hardware business. To identify that problem, it was very simple. For us, we were just a bunch of young guys there who needed money. Like for us, it was like, okay, we can't ask anybody for money. Nobody will fund us. We didn't know that there were seed funds and all. I mean, at that time there was none. And so we thought, okay, how much we need for this? What should we do? And we just spoke to our friends, and then we realized that, okay, what are we good at? We realized that yes, we are really good at hardware because that is what we used to do for friends. And then we realized that what was growing in the campus at that point of time was gaming. Gaming was spreading like fire. Everybody was gaming, and the systems which people used to get, it's like in gaming, it's kind of, if you have a good hardware, you have an edge, and that's what we realized, that people, the students, will be ready to pay a premium. So gaming, gaming as a market we identified. Actually, we started supplying the hardware. So yes, that was, I'll say, really, that amounts to market research, even though at that time we didn't know what we were doing. But the second, the startup which we did, the cool startup, there it was, we were looking at the macro trends. The macro trend was that YouTube had come in the world. We were looking at the rise of video, and we could see that yes, it will, it has to happen in India as well. Yeah. So I'll say we didn't really identify the problem. We just looked at the opportunity. And in hindsight, that is where we actually went wrong. We just looked at the opportunity. We didn't look at the market reality. At that time, the reality was we had a good internet because we were in and around the campus. The rest of the India, the moment you go beyond Powai or campus, there was no internet. Practically, there was no internet, and that is where I realized that yes, the opportunity, it was like and we could even see that okay, it will take probably 3 to 4 years before India will reach that point. But yes, we didn't have a way that we can really prolong 3 to 4 years. Okay, what will we do for 3 to 4 years? So that was where we went wrong.
Vivek, I have a question.
Sure, please go ahead.
Hi, Gaurav. It's an excellent talk. My name is Dinesh, and I'm a faculty in IIT Palakkad. Now, during your talk, you mentioned that it's quite normal for most of the startups to become bankrupt, and the ecosystem should be in such a way that the shock is less, or at least you help them to overcome that. Now, as an entrepreneur, what desire that ecosystem should become into, so that these kinds of things are less on the entrepreneurs? Like, what do you think? And like for these days, entrepreneurship is more of one of the career options. It has become one of the career options for several people, and a lot of professional incubators have come, and then many people are trying to help build this ecosystem. Now, what do you desire to see in them in order to avoid these kinds of bankruptcies? Or when it happens, what as an incubator somebody should do, or what as an entrepreneur somebody should do?
I think the first thing itself, and which we have again, there's not something which I'm saying. There's something which we have seen in US and Silicon Valley happening. First is that trying to avoid failure. There is no way that you can avoid. For whatever reasons, it will happen. So first, the understanding, having that reality check always in your mind. You know for a fact that yes, the probability is very high that you will fail, that you will go bankrupt. Yeah, if you talk to VCs, investors know this very well. They know. I mean, that is why the way they are making their portfolio, creating the portfolio and investing, they know that yes, a lot of their bets will simply go wrong, right? But as entrepreneurs, we need to know that yes, we most likely will fail. Now, why will you fail? That's like, at times it may simply not be in your hand. For example, COVID happened. A lot of startups simply didn't have that option. You could not do anything, right? People went bankrupt, right? So first is know that this is going to happen. This can happen. First is that. Second, in the system, removing the stigma of failure, I think now it has gone in different ecosystems around. I see that yes, people now, you don't look down upon people who have failed, yeah, in a startup, in a venture, but that is still like I'll say it's very much required. And then finally, it's I sense that looking at a lot of entrepreneurs, so my friends, seniors, classmates, and people who tried and failed, I think that there has to be the awareness and openness towards understanding that yes, this can lead to mental health challenges. Yeah. So counseling is something I think now when incubators are coming up, they have to keep this in mind. They have to have this wherein you are able to counsel the founders, because these are most likely these will be very young people, right? And at that time, again, when you're seeing somehow the mind creates an image that it's not that you're just failing in a business, you're not failing in life. And that is a very important distinction. So I think this is something which needs to be there in the ecosystem.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you.
Hi, Gautam. This is Rajesh Nair. I'm conducting this workshop, and we have been covering a lot of things. And tomorrow we'll be touching on entrepreneurship, and it's good timing that you. And as a fellow entrepreneur, I want to ask you this question on how do you value an opportunity? When you see first thing, how do you identify the opportunity? Second thing is, how do you approach in valuing an opportunity?
So opportunity now that now, so I'll take the real example, like for Super Pro. Just before starting Super Pro, when in the pre-COVID world, by February, March, early March, I had actually got an offer from a VC firm, a pretty known VC firm, and I was about to join it. Why? Because all of the ideas that I was playing with in my mind, somehow I could see, though, it will still slightly futuristic. It will take some time. Probably the market is still not yet ready, or maybe if I could not see that, I'll be the right person to do it. Lockdown happened, and that is where the realization happened, because the Super Pro, the founders, the other founders, three founders, I have been talking to them. I have been mentoring them in a way, and we were talking, and that is where they came to me, and I also realized that whatever we have been talking, so we have been talking around impact of combining AI and live video, and still, all of that, I'll say, was looking very futuristic to us, because it was dependent on the usage of live video itself, of video calls, to be precise. And then we could see that it's still very small. I mean, if we look at February, March at that time. April onward, we started realizing, no, I mean, it's like my uncle is saying, let's come on Zoom. I mean, that was an eye opener. And that's where we realized that, okay, this is something which is now just huge. So how do you look at the opportunity is, one, it's really, it's a huge disruption in the market. And then there are trends which are building up due to that disruption. Because a disruption of whatever kind is always the best time to look for an opportunity wherein, if you are fast, you will be able to get in and create a differentiator. So that is how I look at it. And in terms of evaluating it, again, it will be whether the disruption itself, whether it's, for example, just in your town, state, or country, or the whole world. Yeah, if the whole world is disrupted, that the user behavior, if the user behavior is not going to change just in India, just in Europe, it's going to change worldwide. So that's how it's a big opportunity. I hope I answered the question.
Hello, sir. I got all the 10 points from your experience, which I'm from mechanical second year, IIT Palakkad, and those 10 experience were really amazing. And those you are starting up, and also after choosing your co-founder.
Sorry, your voice is breaking a bit. Maybe you can just disable the video. Yeah.
There is a chat section in which I have wrote all the questions.
Okay, you have wrote. Okay, great. Okay. When you got your idea, okay. So the first idea, as I said, the first startup, honestly, we really didn't have a clue. As I said, we were just looking at, okay, YouTube has happened and this will happen. So over a period of time, of course, I've evolved, I've learned a bit. now, as I said, now how we look at the idea. So for Super Pro, as I explained, yes, we really looked at the opportunity. It's a huge opportunity, and whether we are the right people. That was a very important question for us, because it's a big opportunity, good, but are we the right people? And that is where we realize that yes, all of us, the 4 founders, all of us are very deep rooted in tech. Yeah, and it's like we can't avoid talking to each other about tech. Yeah, when we are even when we are over beer, and we are having drinking sessions, and we are just having casual conversations, we talk about tech and product. Yeah, and that is what shows that this is our DNA, right? And that is why we felt that here. And given our background, so my background working in video already and AI, and then my other co-founders, they have worked in AI themselves, or they have worked in large corporations, handled B2B business. So that is where we said, yes, idea is good, we are the right team. Choosing your co-founders, so yes, I think the first time, honestly, was hazy. It was, I'll say the bias was more towards, because you are a friend, the first startup. Later on, we got together, okay, that what are our strengths? We were able to map it. But yes, it was hard. It was hard. And but then in the second and third one, as I saw with InnoPlexus, was very clear that so Gunjan's strength, was business marketing. My strength was tech and product. It was very clear, crystal clear. So how do you choose? You look at what you can do and what do you lack. Yeah. So always go for people, one, smarter than yourself. Second, go for people who complement you. Really, don't go for people who are like you. Yeah. If you get people who are very much like you, you will be in trouble, because like if you both of you agree on all of the things all of the time, it's a recipe for disaster. Yeah. Why in InnoPlexus it worked well, because Gunjan and I, we really used to debate very intensely, very intense debate. Yeah, we used to disagree on things really hard. Like, no, this is how we should do it. Just to know this is how, and then we just used to decide, okay, let's look at the data. Yeah, okay. If it says fine, or we'll just have a compromise somewhere, and we'll make it work. And most important point, if you take a decision, stick to it. It doesn't matter whether that is a decision which originally you said that you are not in favor of, or you're against, or whatever. Once the decision has been taken, as a team you need to stick to it. Yeah, then nothing should come. So that is where choosing a co-founder is very important. You need to align not just the personality types, not just the complementary skill set, but also whether you really see that this is a person with whom you can work for a longer period of time. And with Gunjan, like my case was like I had known him like for very long in campus times and so on. Now my new co-founder, it's a very like Sagar and I are of similar age, so late 30s, while Vijay and Vivek are very young, 2015 or 16 from IIT Kharagpur. Yeah. So how does it match? And that is where we see that yes, because it's exactly that their strength of being young, is what Sagar and I can never replace. Yeah, we have now a conservative outlook to look at things because of our experience, and that is actually at times holding us back in taking risks or experimenting. And that is where two young co-founders help us. So third is conflict. Okay, I mentioned probably. So conflict is you need to first decide that there can only be one boss, really. So if we are two co-founders, 4, 10, whatever, you need to first agree upon, in case of a tie, in case of a conflict, who is that one person who you will trust. Fine, end of story. Even if there is a tie, this is the person. If that person says yes, because that person, most likely, that is where being the CEO comes in, because then you are taking that risk and you are saying, guys, my decision, things go wrong, I will take the blame. I won't blame you that you took the decision, or I am taking that risk. I will take the blame, right? So you insulate your team, and you even insulate your co-founders from it. Yeah. So that's how you look at conflict. Being an engineer, uh, okay, salaries for co-founder, hiring people. Again, the way I learned it was more because the ecosystem in India was just growing, which was over a period of time. One was just reading, so looking at what are the similar structures in US, definitely. And then the biggest learning has always been just talking to people. Yeah. So I've been immensely lucky, fortunate that as a group, I'm surrounded by uh, really, really very, very successful people, successful founders themselves, my seniors, even my juniors, backmates, all of it. So I have a good set of people who I can talk to. So almost all of the learning really in terms of business has come via them. Yeah. So you think, okay, now I'm starting a SaaS business. Yeah. So I know who I should talk to and understand, okay, how do I go about SaaS business? Yeah. So I think learning from people is the best way. Hi, Saurabh. I hope I have answered the question. If you have any more,
Yeah,
please.
there's another question on the chat box. Others, do you want to ask? Unmute yourself and ask.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I wanted to ask about criticism offered by our colleagues.
Sure. This is very interesting. So first thing is how they call it in sales actually, but have a very thick skin, really. Yeah. See, there is a difference. You should always be open to criticism, always, really. Yeah. So don't even think that you won't be criticized. So be very open. Be very sure that probably when you're just about to start and you're starting, probably your family members or your close friends will tell you you are an idiot. Yeah. So be open.
Yeah, that has always been done.
Right?
Yeah.
Always listen to them, take criticism in a very positive way. So how do you take it in a positive way? See, if somebody says, and again, especially when people who are close to you, if they are telling you you are an idiot, right? It's actually, that means because they know you. Yeah? So you need to ask them, why do you think so? Yeah? So you need to engage them in the conversation and probe. Yeah. Right. For example, in the first go, my uncles, my family actually used to tell me you are an idiot. At that time, I was very arrogant. I just said, no, forget it. These guys are old. They don't understand anything. I was wrong. What I should have done, I should have asked. And now that is what I do. Yeah. Even when you are raising funds, yeah, that's like the hardest time. Almost like all of the investors will tell you, what are you doing? Why are you even doing it? This is worthless. So you need to engage them and ask. People who really have your well-being in mind and your benefit in mind will always want to be probed and tell you further. So you ask them, why do you think I'm an idiot? Is it because I don't do you see that I'm not the right person to do this? Why do you think I'm not the right person? Because you think I lack the skill set. Okay, which skill set do I lack? So engage them in the conversation. Yeah. So never run away from criticism. That's like avoiding it is always a bad idea.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice. Any other questions? Okay.
Yeah,
No problem, Saurabh.
No issue.
Okay, I think if there are no more questions, then probably let me thank you so much, Gaurav, for your fascinating talk about your life journey. I think from rupees 30 in your pocket to build a company with multi-million euro revenue is really, really incredible. And I'm sure that all the life lessons which you have shared with us and the audience, they are definitely going to get, and it is definitely going to help them and inspire them to be, the future entrepreneurs. So thank you again. And it was a it was really great to have you with us today. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. Always good to share something what I have learned, and I'm really looking forward, someday from IIT Palakkad itself, if there are more entrepreneurs coming. In fact, I think Anuradha madam, maybe you can share my email as well with people. Please don't hesitate in reaching out to me. I love to talk to people because I also learn while talking to people. So if you have anything, any queries, anything you are stuck, anything you want to discuss, please feel free to reach out. Thank you.
We'll definitely reach out to you, Gaurav. And hopefully once COVID is over, we will call you on campus. Okay.
Definitely.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward.
Thank you very much for the inspiring talk.
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah. Thank you.
Bye. Have a great day.
You too.